the shadowed peaks of the Salt Lake Valley to the mist-covered banks of the Hudson Valley and all across the globe, the signal drifts through the night. This is Midnight Signals. Now, here are your hosts, Sergeant Shenanigator and Alien Mike.
Alien Mike, what's going on tonight? Alien Mike is gone. So before we begin tonight, I will let you know Alien Mike might be popping in and out here and there. He is still having issues with his internet. So hopefully we get him back shortly. Otherwise, you guys are just going to hear me talking about this tonight. So while we're waiting for Alien Mike to get back, I just want to let you know there's some links in the descriptions tonight. So we're going to be playing some audio and showing some pictures of number stations. So the audio and the pictures are courtesy of the Internet Archive. There's a link in the description on the Internet Archive. It's got some fascinating audio and video of number stations. So if you want, check that out after the podcast. I've also included a couple of links down there for list of number stations, past and present. You can go ahead and look at those. It's actually a chat room, so you can see which ones are active, play any recordings that they've pulled up on those. And if you're really interested, there is an online shortwave radio link in the description where you can actually go in and tune the frequencies you want and see if you can catch anything. So with that, tonight's episode is on number stations. And before we begin, the reason that I am interested in number stations is because I've actually had an experience with them. Back during my time in the military, I was stationed in Germany during the Cold War. This was towards the end of the Cold War from 1985 to 1989. And we would do training in Grafenwehr and Hohenfels, Germany. In Hohenfels, there's a really nice hilltop that we used to go to and get some sleep. I was the battalion maintenance officer's driver, so we'd go out and the captain would get some rack time. We'd set up our little tent out there. He'd jump in and get some rack time. I'd sit in the Jeep and I had a portable radio that I'd listen to. Most of the time I was listening to Armed Forces Network or German channels, but I decided to kind of scan through and see what I had. I ended up listening to Voice of America, which at the time was being pumped into the old Soviet bloc to give news and information. And I'm sure, even though they may deny it, I'm sure they were getting some actual intelligence information to boots on the ground in the old Soviet bloc. But then I found that the portable radio I had also had a shortwave radio system. So I started playing with that, and I'm catching all sorts of different things. Ham radio operators. I'm catching all sorts of things. Alien Mike, you're back. How you doing, man?
Well, yeah, I'm doing better now that I'm sweating my ass off in my car.
Well, fire that thing up and hit the AC.
Internet. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I don't have any of my notes. I don't have none right now.
It's okay. We'll just wing it.
So yeah, we'll get it.
Yep. So anyway, I started playing with this shortwave radio that I had on my portable radio, and I was just flipping through frequencies, and I came across an actual number station run by the old USSR. I didn't know what it was. All I knew is there was a tone at the beginning, and then I don't know if it was numbers or words, but it just kept repeating over and over. And I got so interested in that I just started scanning all the frequencies. And one of the stations we're going to talk about tonight is a Lincolnshire station. And I ended up catching that, but I didn't know it was a Lincolnshire station until we started researching for this episode. So that's kind of one of the reasons that I wanted to do number stations.
All right. So since I was a little bit behind today, what all have you talked about so far?
I've just talked about my little story involving number stations, and I've talked about the links that we put down in the descriptions for everything.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. So, and
Am
again,
I coming through all right?
If Alien Mike gets bumped off, he'll be back on as quick as he can. Alien Blorp, I understand, is currently working on your system.
I apologize. Yeah, they're here right now. Like right before we got or like went live, literally 2 minutes before it shut down, and I started to go live with you. Like got through about 5 seconds, and it said reconnecting and shut me off. That's what I get for having crappy signal in my basement. So now I'm outside, and we'll see what happens.
Yep, I know that feeling well, man. If I go to the kitchen, I got no signal. If I go to the living room, I got to be near the window.
Yep, it's unreal, but it is what it is, and we'll make it through. We always do.
So, number stations. What are they, Mike?
So without my notes, everything that I found on number stations, everything is done generally through shortwave radios, for the most part, shortwave radios, and it can be a sequence of numbers, letters. I've heard specific words, different tones or kind of music that plays, and it just repeats at a certain, either at a certain time of each day, or it's constant and it just continues. And they are generally used for spies, you know, to pass messages.
Yep, they are mostly for spies.
Yeah, but
although before we go any further, every government across the world has denied their existence.
Yep, but they're there. I mean, you can get on apps and the internet, and I believe you put a link in there for one. You know, if you have receivers, you can get on and scan them.
Yeah, there's the link, the very last link in a description is actually a real shortwave radio hooked up to the internet, so you can actually tune it to where you want, listen to all these frequencies. Some of the number stations are on set schedules. Some of them are just completely random.
I'll have to check that out when we're done, because that was one thing I throughout this whole, you know, last week and a half of internet problems, that it was so spotty trying to find all this stuff.
Oh yeah, you've had nothing but internet problems this week.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm still here, you know.
During the Cold War, I mean, number stations have been used constantly, but during the Cold War, it got really big because that was the time that satellites started going up and satellite communication started getting a little bit better. And with satellite communication and now the advent of the internet, that can all be traced.
Yep.
Ike, I believe that would be my wife downstairs.
Oh, she is? Well, tell her I said hello. Holler down for me.
So, but yeah, number stations were tried and true. They couldn't be traced. You could do triangulation, but that would give you a general idea. It couldn't ever pinpoint. I mean, even the Lincolnshire, people are taking pictures. Let me pull that picture up real quick.
Okay. While you're doing that, since I'm on my phone right now on the app, when you use your phone, were you able to see the chat?
No, I was not.
Okay,
Are you
so
able to see the picture?
Yeah, the big antennas.
Yep. So this
Okay,
is
yeah, I can.
supposed to be where Lincolnshire is, and they're still not 100% sure on that. Years and years and years later,
Okay.
because it's just there's no way to pinpoint exactly where this stuff
No.
is. And what spies would do is these numbers would come across. They would use what's called a one-time pad. And the one-time pad, what you would do is you would take the message and you would code it into numbers, and then take your version of the one-time pad and code those numbers again, and then send those numbers out. And the receiver would copy those numbers down. Using the one-time pad, they'd create new numbers, and then they'd be able to decipher the message. So you're actually switching numbers 3 different times from the original set of numbers that you had. Yep. And again, this is a one-time use pad. So as soon as you're done with it, it was mostly written on flash paper. You just burn it. It was gone.
Yep.
There was no
need
need
it, and it never existed.
Yeah, there was no need for the receiver to ever send anything back, because they just assumed that he got the message, because it kept repeating throughout the day. So they just assume he got the message.
Yep.
So the one-time pad, it would be something like the number 7294. When you're coding the message, all of a sudden becomes 0388. And then that would go out across the airwaves, and the 0388 would end up being like 9349. And that's how you decoded the message.
Right.
And the cool part about a one-time pad is the intro, like our intro, the intro would tell the spy who it was going to. So you may have taken a spy's one-time pad, but unless you know exactly what to listen for in that intro, you don't know if that message is coming in for that spy or somebody else.
Yep.
So, and that's why it is still used today.
Yep. I'm going to try to go to the cloud on my phone. Tell me if this shuts my video down.
Okay. Yep, your video is shut down.
Is it just a black screen?
I can still hear you. I just see A on your screen.
Oh, okay.
While he's doing that, I do have a message for Silver Maine. This past weekend, I received a gift from Silver Maine. I don't know if she will see this or not, but shenanigans in progress. So thank you very much, Silver Maine. I am trying to figure out where I can hang it, where it can be seen.
Yeah, because you've got the window right behind you, right?
No, back there I just have a backdrop, but I mean, I got my man back there, of course. But no, the windows are.
Have your man hold him
if
you can. It's on. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you can position his arms, have him hold it.
That's not a bad idea. I have to see if I can do that.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to go to my cloud here just so I could see what notes I'm able to pull up. So
Spooky,
I apologize.
Welcome.
My Spooky, how's the tattoo going, buddy? I can't see your chat, but I'm here. So I can see. Oh, Steve, I saw that welcome you put up on the screen.
Really? But you can't see Spooky.
Yeah, so put on. Wait, hold on. Everyone, I saw the welcome that you. Yeah, put his up and see if it shows up like on the screen. Let me switch my phone this way. Nope, I can't see any of the chats. The only one in chat I see is yours, and
I think that's because mine's sent from Riverside.
I said hello. Did you?
Yeah,
Does that
it came
pop up?
through.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, with some technical difficulties, we're literally just getting started. And probably your tattoo
Yeah.
is literally just getting started too.
Yep. So you'll have to excuse me. I'll be blacking out, except not drunk anymore, but blacking out
So,
while I switch back and forth.
all right. So I think the first one we should talk about
Mm-hmm.
is Lincolnshire.
Okay. I think I've got that up here as well,
Right,
so I can follow along.
Yeah, Lincolnshire is a British shortwave number station that was active between 1970s to about July 2008. But the weird part is some people have said it has come back to life. So I don't know. I haven't found anything official on that, but then again, there's absolutely nothing official on it. And it's called the Lincolnshire Poacher.
Yep.
So it is tied to a Royal Air Force base in Cyprus. And it's widely believed to be used by MI6, but of course, there's no way of knowing that. And it broadcast multiple times a day, 7 days a week. Excuse me, and continued well after the Cold War ended. So let me see if I can get the actual. There we go, right there. I promise, folks, it changes.
Five, 3, 9, 7, 1, 5. 3, 9, 7, 1, 5. 3, 9, 7, 1, 5.
All right. So what I am going off of some Reddit threads on this. So this is far from accurate. But what I've read so far kind of makes sense to me. In the intro, the number of tones, the number of times you hear the tones is who it's directed towards. So they didn't play like 9 or 10 tones each time.
Mm-hmm.
So that would tell which spy out in the field needed to pay attention to that message. And then they would repeat the numbers 3 or 4 times and then go on to the next set of numbers. So it gave you time to write it down, verify that you wrote it down right. Because as soon as this transmission ended, and the whole transmission's 4 minutes, 38 seconds, as soon as it ends, it's never played again. So that's kind of what I got from Reddit. Take it for what it's worth. But that is the Lincolnshire Poacher. And they say, I mean, it just abruptly stopped. There was, it was working every day, 7 days a week. And then all of a sudden in July 2008, it just stopped. But now there are reports that it is picking back up. And it's not the Lincolnshire Poacher intro that you hear, but it's coming from the same general location. And where they figure this one is pointed is towards the Ukraine and towards Russia in Poland. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's accurate. So that's the Lincolnshire Poacher.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like hearing all the audio from it.
What was that? What'd you say, Mike?
I was just saying I like hearing the audio from it.
Oh yeah.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. I coughed just as you said it.
Oh, okay. I was like, more problems. Here we go again.
Yeah. Mrs. Shenanigator said, catchy tune.
Oh yeah.
So that one was kind of straightforward, which, I mean, British military intelligence is pretty straightforward.
Yep.
The next one gets kind of spooky. And that's the Swedish Rhapsody. And the number station itself is not the spooky part. It's the tune it plays.
Yes.
So I'll give you a quick rundown on that as soon as I can pull it up here. All right, so it was active.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was called the Swedish Rhapsody because that was the name of the song that was played. But this is actually a Polish intelligence number station that was active sometime in the late 50s, early 60s. Some claim that it ran all the way up to the end of the Cold War and into the late 90s, but there was some activity that continued all the way up to 2007. From what I understand and what I've researched, since 2007, it's not been active again, at least
Nope.
the way it was set up. So, and again, this one was run by the Polish intelligence. So it was part of the Soviet bloc at the time. This was directed towards spies in West Germany and NATO countries. So what it would do is it would play the beat at the beginning, then it would play the melody, and yes, they've tracked it down to where it is actually one of the those old little wind up music chimes.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Like the old jewelry box type things.
Yep. And then it would be a little girl's voice counting from 1 to 10 in German. And my wife probably caught on to this. One number was mispronounced. Then it would play the melody again, and then it would do the actual sequence of numbers. So with the German language, they're actually pretty sure this one was directed towards spies that were East German, operating within West Germany at the time.
And what year was this again? The 50s, right?
This one from the late 50s, early 60s, up to the late 90s or 2007. If it's running in 2007, running the same way, I mean, by 2007, Poland and NATO are friendly.
Yeah.
All right. So there was one other, but I cannot find anything about it other than the name and when it ran. And it
Which
ran
one?
from the 60s to 2009. It's called Cherry Ripe, and it was operated out of Australia in the
Yep.
Northern Territory. And they say that this one was the little brother of the Lincolnshire poacher and possibly run by British intelligence at the time. And
Yep.
it was set up to send encrypted messages to Asia to agents in the Asian Pacific regions. So the reason they call it the little brother of Lincolnshire is because it used the same female synthesized voice, but it used the song uh, Cherry Ripe.
Cherry Ripe. Yeah, the old.
So a
It
lot
was
of
an
people
old
say it
folk
was named
song.
after Cherry Ripe, the candy bar. It was not. It was named after Cherry Ripe, the song that was played.
Yep.
And at the same time that Lincolnshire poacher shut down, Cherry Ripe shut down. So
I didn't get that. I didn't see that part.
yeah, I didn't until this afternoon when I was finishing up my research. So
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I've got the group of like the numbers, what it was called, when it was active, but I didn't see that it shut down at that time.
Yep, they both shut down. They shut down in the same month, but not on the same day. It's really hard to
Yeah. Okay.
determine what day they were shut down, since
Okay.
I mean you have to monitor it 24/7 to
Yep.
figure it out. So before we
And
go
I'm
on,
sure
to the
they've got a
one,
lot of.
before we go on to the one Alien Mike has, I do have
8, 5, 4, 8, 5, 4, 8, 5, 4, 5, 9, 0.
All right. So that one is a Russian number station. But here's the weird part. As far as I can find out about this one, they triangulated this one to be in Russia.
Mhm.
And it was targeting Russian spies. So some people are saying it was run by Americans who had infiltrated the USSR and was sending messages to double agents. But the strange part about that one is the Cold War is over, and that one's still operational. The U.S. is saying,
Still to this day.
yeah, the U.S. is saying it's not us, and the Russians are investigating who's running it. So they don't know what's going on with that one. So it's not as routine as it used to be. There's no name for
Right.
it. I think the name is like U-54. They didn't have some catchy name like Lincolnshire Poacher.
I thought was that. Let me see, because there was another one that I pulled up. This might not. Okay, that wasn't it. I had UVB 76, the buzzer.
Yeah, UVB 76, the buzzer, is still operational
Yeah.
today. Still 24/7.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, Rush. Okay,
But
I
this
didn't know
one,
if that was the same one or not.
yeah, this one, they don't know what it is. And like I said, Russian intelligence is trying to track down who runs it. And the U.S. is like, it's not us. We may have people in your country, but we ain't operating way out in the middle of, frozen farm tundra area.
Yeah. Well, even if they were, they ain't going to admit it.
That's true.
Yep.
So those are the ones I had, and I know you were going to get into one really good one here.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to go off screen for a minute. So the one that I had, I know, let me pull it up. It led into a really interesting story that you had. And that would be, give me 1 second. The Cuban number station, the Atención station, often labeled as the attention number station, or HM01. So the broadcast typically begins with a robotic female voice saying attention, attention in Spanish. Then it reads out the long sequences of numbers in Spanish, uno, dos, tres, cinco, and nueve, which sometimes it includes bursts of digital noise like the sound that your screeching modem would make, like the dial-up modem would make. Like all the other number stations, it was believed to be used by the intelligence agencies to send encrypted messages to spies in Cuba. Each number group corresponded to specific instructions, and like you already previously said, they used the one-time pad to break it all down and, pass the messages along. So why they think it was linked to Cuba was the station. Excuse me, now I'm coughing. The signals consistently originate. I know. The signals consistently originate from the Cuban territory, and the language is in Spanish, but it has a distinct Cuban accent. And it was directly connected to a real confirmed spy case, which that case was in 2001. The FBI exposed the Cuban Five, a group of Cuban spies that were operating in the U.S. The authorities found shortwave radios on them. They were receiving the number broadcasts at the time, and in court, the FBI even played all the Cuban number station. And then that was what kind of confirmed that these broadcasts weren't just random, mysterious, number station recordings going out. They were actively used for espionage.
Yep.
And I believe that kind of, let me go back here, goes into the story that you had about one of the Cuban Five, I believe.
She wasn't actually part of the Cuban Five, but she was part of that whole group that got busted.
Oh, okay.
And as far as I can see, she worked with the Cuban Five without ever meeting them. But this is a story of Ana Montez. She was known as the Queen of Cuba, and she's also known as the traitor spy you've never heard of.
It sounds so familiar. I know I've heard that somewhere.
It made the news, but it was kind of swept under the rug. Ana Montez worked for the Defense Intelligence Agency, and she wasn't just an analyst. She was one of the top experts in the U.S. government on Cuban intelligence. So she wasn't just in the room taking notes. She was the one that was answering the questions about Cuba.
Okay.
During the time that she worked at the Defense Intelligence Agency, she was also working for Cuba for 17 years. So for 17 years, she was she worked at the DIA and spied on the United States government for Cuba. And the way that they contacted her to make sure that she was never burned was through a number station. Same number station that the one that Alien Mike just talked about, the group that he just talked about. So she would actually go home after work, get on the shortwave radio, tune into the station, get her instructions, and then burn the one-time pad. Now she's got everything she needs to do her job for Cuba, and there's no paper trail. So what she ended up giving away was the identity of U.S. intelligence officers in Cuba, details about U.S. surveillance and operations in Cuba, military intelligence regarding Cuba, and is because of her actions, it led to the death of a service member. And most people would think that she did it for money, and it wasn't money at all. Steve got to go sit in the car too.
Who said that?
Our good buddy Alec.
I feel so stupid sitting in this car right now. Like, I don't think people understand, because I know my video is going on and off as I'm trying to switch between what notes I can get and what I don't have. It's just, yeah. So I apologize to everyone. It's been a hell of a couple weeks.
So, but yeah, she just thought that Cuba was being treated unfairly and our stance on Cuba was too aggressive. So she just decided to help a foreign country while working for the Defense Intelligence Agency. The FBI was suspicious for quite a number of years, but thanks to the number station and the one-time pad, she was very careful, and they couldn't ever get enough evidence to get her. But she was finally arrested right after.
Oh boy.
Alec is telling you, don't worry. A lot of ESPN TV people do it too.
But oh, what? Sit in their cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on calls with people doing it, and my car's comfortable to sit in, but it's feeling dumb when you don't have all your notes in front of you because you have to run out of the house to get service.
So this little rabbit hole I went down kind of bothered me, the way that this was written, and I'm going to read it word for word because it opens up another conspiracy theory. All right. Ana Montez was finally arrested in 2001, right before 9/11. U.S. intelligence was preparing military operations, and the officials realized we cannot have her in the building when this kicks off. Thank you. I'm glad you caught that. They're preparing for operations before 9/11, and we can't have her in the building before it kicks off.
So she's a yeah, that goes into a whole host of conspiracies right there.
I'm hoping that the 3 different sites I checked out have this wrong. But anyway, she was arrested before 9/11. She pled guilty in 2002, received a 25-year prison sentence, and was released under supervision in 2023. To this day, she still expresses no regret and has no sympathy for the agents she put at risk.
Nope.
That's
just, I don't know. I've always thought, to go back to what you were saying about the one-time pad and all that. You get on shortwave radios, stuff like that. I've always found stuff like that really fascinating, how they do it all.
Yeah.
It just, ever since I was little, I mean, that was one of the key things that made me initially want to go into the military, was the whole like counterintelligence and all of that, how they did all that. And
I had the time of my life being an MP, but if I could go back and do it again, I would have gone military intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not James
100%.
Bond stuff. I know it's not James Bond, but that's where it's fun.
Yeah, really fun. I don't know. There was just something about that always seemed really fascinating. But of course, I was too dumb to pass an ASVAB high enough to do anything like that.
I don't know if it was dumb. You were probably like me as a teenager. too lazy.
I wanted
to focus.
infantry.
Too lazy to focus.
Yep. My main goal was when I talked to the recruiter, they asked, MOS, what do you want to do? Recon. And he just kind of looked at me. Well, we can put you right in there, but you're going to look like an idiot because everybody that goes in straight to recon, they fail out. So do infantry. All right. But yeah, the whole way they did it with how they were secretive about it, the one-time pad, getting rid of everything. And, like the one gal, it took her how long to get arrested? They're operating for years without getting caught.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'd be willing to bet they still don't know half of what she did.
oh no. Just like when there's a POW, 9 times out of 10, they don't say shit. So
yeah, it's the number station stuff is so fascinating that from the little bit I've read, even drug cartels have started using number station to communicate. And matter of fact, it was like 4 years ago, they busted a large ring that was using number station to let drug mules know where the border patrol was.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is the tried and true, and even in this day and age, the number stations will never go away.
No, well, like we were discussing earlier, and the one that I was talking about at the beginning of the day, I don't know if you want me to bring it up or not.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and bring that up right now.
So I just happened to get on YouTube and was searching for number stations, see what videos were out there. And the first one I found was one on a newer station that just, I guess they found out. I don't know how long it's been out, but was from Iran. Now, from what the guy in the video said, I think they first noticed it on March 3rd of this year, is what it said. And he was saying that the U.S. and other European countries, they try to put in news and get things through into Iran so that they can see what's going on or hear what's going on around the world. Because like North Korea, they don't let stuff like you see what they allow you to see. And Iran they found out and they started jamming what was going on. But from what I gather, they don't really know what it's being used for right now.
Yeah, I've listened to it, and in Farsi, it's attention, and then numbers.
Yeah.
So it is being directed to somebody on the ground in the Middle East, and it looks like it is Iran.
Yep.
And it's being transmitted from somewhere, I believe, in Central Europe. I know they've narrowed it down a little bit. I just don't want to bring it up because.
Yep, that's neither here nor there. The only thing that this guy had said was one that it was in Farsi, and then they said, "Is it Farda? Farda?" I can't remember exactly what that acronym is for, but that had something to do with it. And he said, however Iran was going about it, they started using bubble jammers so that nobody else could get in and stop their communications. So it just, he said, and we talked about this, that it was the first, what I think you said official one that came out that they've known or found out about since 2010, since the one in Vietnam. But there's, of course, unofficial ones that are always going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that'll never change. I mean, look at ham radio now, shortwave radio now. it'll always continue.
Oh yeah, ham radio to this day is still the Mars network, the military something radio system is all a bunch of ham radio operators that
Yep.
is set up to pass on emergency information when the phone lines go down and the internet goes down.
Yep.
So yeah, it's that the ham radios are never going to go out.
No, that's something that me and one of my friends here we've been considering taking, doing the course to get your license, because
I've been thinking
you
about
can
it.
listen to them. I mean, you can listen to them with no problem. I mean, I've got shortwave radios, like handheld radios that I've put on scan, and I mean the antenna is only about 8 inches long. I mean, it ain't that big, but I pick up people in Arizona on it.
Oh yeah, this isn't shortwave, but when I was in Germany, sitting on that hilltop,
Mhm.
I'm not kidding you, Mike. I was listening to a Utah Jazz basketball game on KSL AM
Oh yeah,
in Germany.
Oh yeah, it's
I mean, it was staticky, but I could hear the game.
but you can hear what's going on, and that's, I mean, because we've always been into prepping, survival, stuff like that, and with everything that's gone on in the world since the beginning of time, you never know when something's going to happen, and that's the one way of communicating and finding out what's happening.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it'll never stop.
Nope. And the greatest part about it is, on the shortwave bands, you can use skip and travel completely around the world. Bouncing off the ionosphere, coming back down, bouncing off the ionosphere again. You can go all the way around the world with that. And from what I've heard, just reading this, if I were to have a number station here, there's a possibility that they can't hear me in Hyde Park, 9 miles up the road.
Yep.
But will hear me in Russia or Germany.
Yep.
But 9 miles up the road, because of the skip, they can't hear me.
Because of how it bounces. Yep.
Nadine, good to see you here.
Nadine, what's up? Is she just joining us?
Just joining us. Sorry, I'm extremely late. That's okay.
No problem.
Alien Mike and I were talking. We're going to just start the show over and do it again.
Yeah, we could do it. Yeah. We'll be on tomorrow. No. Yeah, so since you missed it earlier, Nadine, so the past 2 weeks or so, I've been having internet troubles. Went out and got a brand new modem router, plugged it in. Oh, I don't disconnect really, but out of the 2,100 megabytes a second I'm supposed to get, I get 3. So something's all messed up, and the guy's here fixing it, and he cut me off, so I'm sitting in my car. So it's been an interesting show.
And she says, "Nice shirt, Mike. I slept in late."
Nice shirt. Oh, yeah.
I've got to read the comments because with Mike on his phone, he can't see the comments.
I don't know exactly what's being said. I don't even know who's in the chat other than Alec, Nadine, and Aaron was here. Spooky.
And we had Alec for a little bit, but he had to go to work.
Yep. That's right.
Excuse me. So now, most of the time we're about the paranormal and the UFOs and things like that. So number station doesn't really seem like it fits. But there are some stations that do.
Yes, and I hope, Steve, that you have a list or at least one that you can bring up, because
the big one, of course, is the U-76.
Okay.
Nobody knows what that one is. And that's just, what do they call it? Not dash, not beep, buzzer.
Buzzer, yeah.
Yeah, that's just a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week buzzer sound.
Yeah.
Pirates have tried to take over that station and cannot do it.
Mm-mm.
Now, I'm not Giorgio and saying aliens, but
That's me
watching
that
some
does
of
that.
these, what was that?
That's me that does that. That
Oh,
says
that's
it's
true, yeah.
aliens. If you can't figure it out, it's aliens.
And yes, Nadine, there are. We were just talking about that before you came on. There are number stations running right now. As a matter of fact, a brand new one popped up in Germany that is directed towards Iran. And it's in Farsi, starts out with attention, 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 and then goes into the numbers and then disappears for a while.
Yep. Oh, that the other thing on that was, I forgot to mention, that was interesting, was it's every day, 2:00 and 6:00.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if that's AM, PM, or both. But they said it's every day at 2 and 6.
Yep. So, yes, Nadine, in the description for this YouTube, this stream today, down at the bottom of the description, the very last link is an online shortwave radio that you can play with and tune into. And the link above that is it's 89 pages.
For the sounds.
What was that?
It's for the sounds, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The link above that is 89 pages of number stations that most are still operational. So you can pull up the frequencies, go to the online shortwave radio, start tuning in. Some of them have exact times on when they do it. Some of them are just completely random, and it's just the luck of the draw. But yeah, I put those links in the description, so check them out. Have fun playing with it. I shouldn't say this because my boss may be watching, but I played with a shortwave radio for about 2.5 hours today at work.
That's why whenever I called you, you could answer.
Yep.
Good times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's shortwave radios. Now, maybe I'm just being dumb right now. Is shortwave radio considered the same as ham?
Shortwave is part of ham.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't. Because the only thing I know, I mean, I know what ham radio is, but like on mine, I know I'm allowed to. You can listen to him. It's just you're not allowed to communicate unless you have your call sign.
Yeah.
Now,
so within ham, there's the upper band and the lower band, and the shortwave is the lower band.
The lower, okay. I mean, it doesn't stop people from communicating.
No, there's so many pirates out there.
Yeah, but I mean, they can kind of, from what I understand, they can kind of triangulate, but they can't generally get an exact position.
With the new equipment, if you're transmitting, they can. Okay. That's why these number stations only transmit for like 4 or 5 minutes.
So that by the time they get to it, they don't.
They're shut down. They're done.
Okay.
But you know, if you and I were to go out and buy the equipment for a mobile ham station and drive around, unless we're really doing something really, really stupid, the FCC is probably not going to bother with us.
No.
You know, but if we're on there talking about overthrow this and overthrow, that's when the FCC is going to get involved.
Yep. Speaking of that, it reminds me back when I was living back home in Georgia. In my house, in my room, we had a whole CB set up, CB, ham radio, all that, and had massive antennas in our yard. And me being a dumb young punk kid, I'm on there just talking to people, and we have all the truckers where I lived right off of 95, and there was a Flying J truck station. Literally, like if you walk through the woods, it's less than maybe 3/4 of a mile away. And I would sit there and BS with the truckers, and I started making fun of one of them, and he's like, well, I'm going to come get you. I know where you're at. No, you don't. He goes, dude, you're a mile behind the truck station. I know exactly where you're at. I went, oh, I guess they can triangulate it by some means. And needless to say, that was the last time I did that. Did I freeze? Steve? What the heck? What the heck? Well, okay, so Nadine just messaged Steve. Oh, here he comes.
Sorry about that. My internet just died on me for a second.
What the hell?
I know.
Huh. Yeah, I'm sitting here talking and you're looking, and I finished the story and you're just staring at me. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
And I started feeling uncomfortable. I'm like, what the hell is he looking at?
Oh, yeah. I was staring at it, and all of a sudden, all three monitors, I get that little spinning dial.
Yeah. Yeah, mine, it just said, host will be back soon. And I went, okay, stay in the page. I went, okay, well. And then Nadine messaged and went, Steve froze. You know what? It wouldn't be a midnight signal if shit like this didn't happen.
True. That's true.
I am telling you 100%. You know that I love a good conspiracy theory. I don't believe in them, but I'm starting to. I swear to God, the government is after me.
I'm beginning to believe that. I don't want to.
No, but
yes, technology is extremely amazing, Nadine. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even have
beautiful
chat.
Wife.
I don't even have chat on my computer anymore. I've got to look at the YouTube chat. My chat's completely shut down.
Okay. Well, your beautiful wife just texted me and said, Steve's frozen and I'm spotty.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
So
well, we made it an hour, surprisingly.
Yeah, I got nothing else really.
The only thing that I have is I really apologize to everybody. I hope that with Xfinity being here, I think they're still at my house. I left. I'm somewhere else now.
Yeah.
I hope
we're
they
going to
have
get this all back up and running. April was a lousy month, but we're into May now. All the bugs will be worked out, and we'll be back on a regular schedule finally.
Yeah, so we'll start. I mean, we tried to do the midnight or the signal of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Yep.
And no matter what I did, I could not get on. Like, it would just be frozen, or Steve would be frozen.
All right. So before we lose everybody, our next live stream is going to be May 15th. And I confirmed.
And what are we doing?
Guest, she is going to
be.
You
did?
She is going to be.
Yes.
So unless things change for family emergencies, May 15th, Madam Ophelia will be joining us again. And we're going to try and communicate with whatever ghost is in this house.
Oh, so she's going to do a seance?
She's going to do something like a seance.
Okay. That'll be fun.
And we are going to talk ghosts. So.
Okay, I've got ghost stories.
But yes, she confirmed today that she will be here.
Okay.
All right. So that's awesome. Our next one. Our next signal of the week is going to be our last signal of the week that we were supposed to do 2 days ago. And that's going to be
Okay, I've already
on the Flagstaff River and the ghosts of the town that was flooded.
Flagstaff River or Flagstaff Lake?
Flagstaff Lake. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, that was supposed to be our Wednesday one. So it'll be up this following Wednesday for sure. If I have to sit my ass in this church parking lot again and look at all the Mormons walking out, I'll do it.
I'll take my laptop to the nearest cell phone tower and plug in if I have to.
Yep.
We'll get it done. So
yeah, for sure. I thank everybody for bearing with me.
Sorry, Nadine, you got to forgive me. I have to keep looking over the other screen because I can't see the chat on my main screen for some reason. So will the scissors
what did she say?
The scissors won't be involved on this. They're coming down in August.
Oh, okay. Nadine, I'm glad you brought that up because I've been thinking about that a lot lately. It's just I'm at a loss of words every time I think about it. I'm like, what the hell could this be? And I can't figure it out.
So yes, the scissors episode is still on, and they are coming down in August when my daughter comes down from Maine to visit.
Okay.
And Nadine is off to a Lego exhibition. Oh, she went to a Lego exhibition. Nope, she's off to a Lego exhibition this morning.
Oh,
I keep forgetting their morning time now.
Yeah, it is. So let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning there, I believe.
She's off to a Lego exhibit.
Nadine, thank you so much for being a part of it. As always, we love having you here.
So for everybody on here, if you do want secret messages, all you got to do is, to activate the number station, is hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and you never know, you might get secret messages out of it.
Oh yeah, and if you haven't already, go check out Colin at the Horrific Podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
And
big shout out to Colin at the Horrific. They just crossed the 3,000 subscriber threshold.
Yep. Heck yeah. And then your daughter as well. I've actually, I need to get the name from you for her Twitch, because there's a couple of people I follow now on Twitch. So I'd love to follow hers.
Sakona Plays.
Okay.
All right. Let me pull it up real quick.
I don't want to pull up my Twitch because I don't.
She said it's the same for all of it. So Sakona Plays.
Okay. Perfect.
So yeah.
And when we're done here, I'll give that a follow.
Gamers, check out Sakona Plays. She's on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. So other than that, Mike, I got nothing.
I don't think I have anything else other than, Steve, I can't thank you enough for leading this one through all the craziness.
You led the last one through all my craziness.
Yeah, it's what we do. It wouldn't be us if we didn't do it.
So here's the comments before we go. It's the church parking lot, Mike. That's the problem. And Nadine responds.
Yeah, who said?
This was my wife. So you're sitting in the church parking lot?
Yeah, can you see it?
Yep. So that's the problem. Yep. And then Nadine responds with, the gods have it out for this podcast.
No. If the
gods,
G in
the
God and the O in God stands for, it's the government. I'm convinced, dude. I'm going to start wearing a tinfoil hat everywhere I go.
The Governmental Observation Department. There we go. With that, Mike, I say we go ahead and close this show out before the Men in Black do show up.
Yep.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you on the next one on May 15th. Until then,
have a good one, everybody. And watch the skies.